Aurelia was a land of light and magic, where the fragrance of flowers always spread in the air. The houses there were so beautiful and enchanting that they looked even more lovely than a dream. In that land lived two dear friends who shared every happiness and dream with each other. Both had hair that shone like golden rays. Flora's hair was smooth and straight like silk, while Selena's hair was curly, beautiful, and shining like silver. Flora's eyes were like the ocean and her wings were as clear as glass, while Selena's eyes were charming and her wings sparkled like silver. Since childhood, both studied together, played together, and learned magic together. Flora had mastery over the magic of flowers. She could bring flowers to life from stones and could instantly turn seeds into wonderful blossoms. Selena had control over the wind. She could summon storms and make leaves dance in the air. The time came for the selection of a new queen. The old queen had no daughter, so the decision had to be made by magical destiny. In the great hall of the Crystal Palace, young fairies stood in rows. Flora and Selena also stood hand in hand. Their hearts were beating fast. Flora whispered softly, "I am feeling very nervous." Selena held her hand tightly and said, "Whatever happens, we will always stay together." Suddenly, a golden light descended from the sky and fell upon Flora. Her whole being glowed, and it was announced that the new queen was Flora. All the fairies clapped with joy, and Selena hugged her friend to congratulate her. The coronation was to be held after 7 days. Both friends became busy with preparations in excitement and joy. They went to the famous designer Leona for Flora. She made a white and golden gown decorated with pearls and shining jewels. For Selena, a blue and moonlit dress was prepared which was extremely beautiful. Flora invited her friend to become her closest advisor, and Selena accepted. But 3 days before the coronation, a dreadful incident took place. When both friends went to see the sacred treasure, the crown that always shone with golden light had turned completely black. It looked like a dark stone. Fear spread among the fairies. An old fairy said that this was the effect of evil magic, and that the crown's light could only be restored with the water of the Blue Valley. But the journey to the valley was extremely dangerous. The next morning, both friends set out. They crossed forests, mountains, and magical rivers. On the way, they saw talking trees, flying snakes, and flowers that sang in human voices. Flora, tired, wanted to rest, but Selena, with a strange smile, kept urging her to move forward. At last, they reached a high peak from where the Blue Valley was visible. Suddenly, Selena pushed Flora. Shocked, Flora stood and asked, "What are you doing?" Selena's laughter now had an evil tone. She confessed that it was she who had turned the crown black and brought Flora here, because she too wanted to be queen. Tears filled Flora's eyes. She reminded Selena that she had always been her best friend. But Selena mocked her words and said, "Now I will burn your wings and make you weak forever." She took out a vial filled with acid. Just as she was about to pour it on Flora's wings, a strong wind blew, and the acid spilled onto Selena's own wings. Her wings began to burn. Flora's heart melted for her friend. She ran to fetch the water of the Blue Valley and saved Selena's wings. Selena burst into tears. She admitted she had done very wrong to Flora, but still Flora saved her. She wept in shame and begged for forgiveness. Flora forgave her. Together they filled the water of the Blue Valley and returned to the palace. When they poured the Blue Valley's water onto the crown, it became even brighter and more golden than before. Aurelia lit up with glory. The fragrance of flowers spread. Colorful butterflies danced. Golden chandeliers and silver curtains shone with delight. On the day of the coronation, both wore their dresses. Flora's white and golden gown spread light with every step, while Selena's blue gown reminded one of flowing rivers and shining stars. Slowly and gracefully, both walked through the golden gates of the palace. All the fairies clapped and cheered. When Flora sat on the golden throne, A circle of light surrounded her as if the entire sky was saluting her. With devotion, Selena lifted the crown and placed it on Flora's head. The chandeliers sparkled even brighter, songs were sung, and the fairies showered flowers with their wings. Flora smiled and announced that Selena would remain her closest advisor and friend. Hearing this, the entire hall filled with joy. Tears filled Selena's eyes. But these tears were not of shame, they were of true love and happiness. Both friends looked at each other and smiled, as if all bitterness of the past had vanished. Flora ruled with love and justice, and Selena stood by her with loyalty. Together they proved that true friendship is built on forgiveness and sacrifice, while jealousy brings nothing but destruction.